Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins, buckle up everybody. I'm excited to share this. I think for the first time to the world, I've received Google coordinates to Antarctica from John Collins. He's been doing some research and he found something incredible in the middle of nowhere. We're going to zoom in on it, get a closer look. This is very bizarre what we're looking at. We did some research, we go back in time, but right now in 2006, we're looking at what was revealed to the satellite imagery that we're looking at. Approximately 60 monoliths has been discovered. What the heck are they doing out there? This is absolutely bizarre, incredible. It makes you wonder what the heck is going on over there. But as we're getting a closer look at these huge black monoliths, it's hard to imagine what their purpose is. What's going on here? This is very, very bizarre. We got Brent with us. We're going to be breaking it down. But as I get a closer look, it definitely reveals like we're looking at some kind of monolith shape objects. Approximately 60 of them in a row of 3. We're looking at this. You can see that there is wind trails behind it. These things have been standing there for a little while, but as we're getting a little closer, you see that there's some kind of tracks, movement around these structures. It seems that there's been some recent activity around there, well, in 2006, but as I bring it back to 2004, look at this. Look at this. We're going back in time, and this is very bizarre. No indication whatsoever of these monoliths. In 1999, then I bring it up to 2004. Nothing. We may see some kind of indication of something there, but there it is. 2004, it's revealed. Then I go to 2012, the last imagery that was taken in Google Earth, and it's not there whatsoever. Either it's scrubbed or they're trying to maybe Photoshop over it. It wasn't there in 2012, but in 2004 it reveals itself in 2, and then in 2006, voila, in broad daylight, clear as day. What the heck is going on here? We're looking at the reddish colors, these hues underneath these monolith shape. Could it be maybe rust that's coming off these huge metallic monoliths? I got Brent Cousins here. He's looking at it with me. What's your thoughts here?
Huge discovery in Antarctica. This is the real deal. We're breaking it down right now, and we're seeing these incredible structures, 60 of them, and you could tell that especially the ones on the left picture, they totally look like monoliths that you would see in the movie. And you can see the ice crack and the glacial cracks along the left side. So you know this whole entire area is unstable. We see some sort of anomaly there in the crater. It's nothing, but we're seeing something right here that's amazing. Notice they're all in strategic place. Did these things just pop up out of the snow after glacier melt and then they appeared? And then maybe Google or Earth saw this stuff and they wanted to cover it up and they scrubbed it like they usually do. We're looking at something that needs to be explored, discovered, and being seen on the ground, because this is a fantastic discovery right here.
Absolutely, Brian. I pulled up the ruler here. We're going to try and get an approximate size of this thing. How tall is it? It's almost approximately, I would say 40 feet, close to that. I'd imagine it goes a lot deeper beneath the ice layer. So it's pretty interesting. We'll get the width of this, and it approximately is at 26 feet. So this thing is it's very large, and to get 60 of these things out there approximately buried, burrowed into the snow, embedded, obviously the environment, the high winds, there's some heavy construction in regards to these so they don't blow over in Arctic winds. Look at this thing. It's almost 0.53 miles long. Let's put it up in yards. This is approximately 940 yards in length. This is massive to comprehend exactly the construction of these 40-foot towers that stand in position. No rhyme or reason. It really doesn't make any sense. Can anybody explain this? Is this some kind of secret experiment or some kind of extraterrestrial city? Again, it's very bizarre to look at the reddish hue on these monoliths. Is it some kind of, like I said, rust? But on the left, they seem very clean. We don't see any of that red residue. We do see these looking like tire tracks, dune buggies that definitely have explored the area. Somebody knows what's going on.
Yeah, nice tracking right there. Just seeing the whole row of these black monoliths. They're huge, 40 feet, like you said, Blake. Good measurement on that. And again, this is a massive complex. Whatever's going on, this is strategic. This isn't no act of nature. What we're seeing is a phenomenon. Is it old? How old could this be? Or is this some sort of recent discovery that's being explored right now and we're not being told the truth? Look at those kind of wind burns on the right side of these monoliths. They seem like they've been there quite a long time, like you said, Blake, because the winds don't just create these kind of snow dunes without it being there for quite some time. In 2004, look at the kind of the pattern to the right. We're almost seeing these kind of anomalies that there's even more monoliths, and then it disappears again in 1999.
And then in 2004, you see a faint hint of it, but then it clears up again in 2004. That's a little weird on how that transitioned from Google Earth I guess they may have captured it twice within the same year. They're keeping a close eye on it, but in 2012, it's not there. It's absolutely no indication, no wind borrows, no indication of those huge wind dunes in the ice. It's crazy too. It's like you would think that why is it always these wind dunes are formated in a direction from left to right? They're all drifting into the same direction. Doesn't the wind change in Antarctica in different opposite directions? It seems like there's something bizarre going on over there. And I sure like to get your guys' opinion of what you guys think about this, because right now we're kind of scratching our heads. We have these 40-foot by 20-foot monoliths that are just in a staggering way, approximately 60 of them exposed by Google Earth, and then in 2012 they're gone. And we can see the harsh region to the left. These icebergs are cracking up, the ocean there. This is really weird. Then you have this anomalous, iceberg chunk or something with the ice debris. And then these things. In my opinion, who the heck would build something like this in close proximity to chaos just there to the left? This environment is very harsh. But again, 2012, no indication. 2006 was the last time we witnessed these things. What the heck, guys? What the heck is going on? Now, I want you guys to share this link with your friends before we get to Doc Skinner from 1028 Productions and let everybody know this is incredible breaking news right here at Third Phase of Moon. 60 monoliths discovered. Tell everybody Third Phase of Moon sent you. Now, let's get to Doc Skinner from 1028 Productions. We asked him to go over some of the archives of Third Phase of Moon and give us his opinion, his thoughts on some of the incredible videos and images that have come in to Third Phase of Moon. Buckle up, everybody. Enjoy.
Greetings, this is Doc Skinner hosting this episode of Third Phase UFO Report, where we dig into the archives of Third Phase of Moon's mass amount of videos from all around the world and above this world. And there's so many that sometimes we forget what we have caught in the past. So that's what we're going to do tonight, is we're going to look over a couple of videos from the archives, and I want to start off with space. So tonight, what I would like to do is go over what is known as the thumbtack, not Tic Tac, the thumbtack UFO, and I love this video. It is awesome. It is awesome. It's taken from the International Space Station, and we're going to go into it right now, courtesy of Third Phase of Moon, Blake and Brent Cousins, who you'll be hearing in just a moment. And I'm going to, pop in and out, and we're going to ask some questions. All right, here we go. I'm going to do the little screen share here, and then I'm going to hit play. Check this
First, it happened January 20th, 2020, as the astronauts were preparing to enter back into airlock for depressurization and re-entry into the interior of the IS. Something unusual was recorded on video. We're looking at it right now, and we're going to get a closer look and ask the big question: what is this anomaly that NASA captured aboard the ISS? It almost seems to be a massive craft moving away from the ISS. You can see it disappear like it's extending a massive space in a short period of time. But again, is this possibly some kind of an illusion? Brent, I want to get your thoughts here.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I thought it could have been a reflection from within the cabin of the ISS, and maybe it was maybe a lens flare. But looking at this closer, I could definitely tell that whatever it is, it's out there and it's huge.
My question is, Brent, do you think it's possibly maybe an attachment that is actually connected to the ISS space station itself, and it appears that it is floating in space, but it's a shadow, and as the sun is moving, as the ISS is moving away from the sun, it created the shadow to make it appear that this thing was suspended in space, but in actuality connected to the ISS space station itself?
Yeah, it's a possibility, Blake. I'd like to see maybe some International Space Station shots just to prove that this is an attachment to the ISS. And before I see that, I'm going to say that this could be a large secret space force.
All right, so that right there just says a lot about the Cousins brothers, how they are so gung-ho about bringing you the latest, greatest footage that you can find here on the internet. Now, this footage that we saw, and let me go back a little bit, and I'm going to bring down the volume because we heard what they were saying, and I'm going to screen share and bring me in the corner here. Okay, so this is not a thumbtack. It is a space station. That's where I'm leaning towards, folks. But I'm willing to entertain the idea that it could be a tool, right? It could be something that detached from the International Space Station. But here's the thing. If you're looking at the planet Earth, it's pretty sunny on this side, right? And so the fact that this is fading over the horizon, I don't know if I'm going to say it's a cloaking thing, because I think they could probably do that instantaneously. But I do think that this could be a space station. I really do. I truly believe it because of the way the shadow's going and the fact that the horizon is way up there. That means this could be a very large, space station, like a ring space station in the center post. It could be Elon Musk. Could it be the Secret Space Force? I don't know, but I'm willing to entertain the idea that it's a piece from the station, but the fact that it's going through the into dark, day from dark, it'd have to be really, really, really far away from the space station. And let me see if I can scroll back a little bit more, because a little more full. It looks like one of von Braun's designs. I'm leaning towards Space Force, or Elon Musk has got his own little habitat up there. But that is huge if it is a space station and is going around the Earth, onto the dark side, and we're watching it slowly fade over there. And it is way up in orbit. And it's so far back. It's huge. Or it's something that's very close by and is cloaking itself. That is a possibility too. But it has kept me... what's the word I'm looking for? Compelled, I use a lot, but enthralled and wondering, what could this craft be? All right, so moving on, I want to get to... Is it in this video as well? Yes. Okay, so let's go over here and hit play, shall we? It's right after this moon video, which we've seen stuff like that before, but here we go. Whoops.
Now let's get to the next astonishing video. Captured by a professional pilot, it was presented to the UFO sighting report to MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, which contains a clear video showing a cigar-shaped UFO, white in color, flying close formation underneath the pilot's aircraft. Watch this. The video was recorded by the pilot who flew 40,000 feet above the Zion National Park in Utah, September 2019, and presented it to MUFON recently.
I think I know what this is, kids.
At its UFO sighting database.
I think I know what this might be.
The eyewitness report says, after noticing a mysterious cigar-shaped object flying parallel to my plane, I therefore recorded a piece of video taken from the cockpit.
Okay, well, wait, where was it?
The plane is located about 40,000 feet high, about 12,000 meters, and his concerns is the object flying lower altitude above the ground. And I'm not sure what it is, but it was not a drone and any other aircraft that he could describe.
Okay, here's my thoughts on this video. It's the first time I've seen it. I dig it. I totally dig it. Here are the flags for me. One, I do believe this could be one of the large cigar ships. Okay. Now, I don't know. Let's see if I'm able to pull this up, because I just thought of this just now because I'm watching this for the first time. There is an image, okay, and there's also rumors that Utah, in the mountains of Utah, is where they are building these large, cigar craft, and I want to talk about that as well. These cigar craft that we've been hearing about or seeing videos of, why are they shaped like a cigar? Okay. Now, I've brought this on my other show that I do. It's 1028 Live. You can find that 1028 Productions on YouTube. And I've discussed how, what if you had the Philadelphia experiment, and its true purpose was not only to, they said it was to, for invisibility on radar, but what if it was literally to use Tesla and Einstein together, and they because I think they both were a part of the project. I know Tesla definitely was. And what if it was to, fly, levitate, zero gravity energy to take these vehicles and fly them to other areas, right? Like in this case, it was the USS Eldridge. Well, this is my theory, though. Okay, so just so you know, this is my theory. In the 80s, there was a cartoon show called All-Star Troopers, or All-Star Blazers. Sorry, All-Star Blazers. It was a Japanimation cartoon series, and it was about, in the future, about a group of Space Force, what do we call them now? Guardians. And they would go out and, save the Earth. But it was something that looked like the USS Eldridge, one of those submarines, early submarines that could also be above water and look like a ship, right? And so in the movie, this ship was that, and it could fly. So what I'm wondering is were they trying to disclose that information way back then? So now back to why it's shaped like a like a cigar, right? Well, back then when they were working on this, they're trying to think of what is the most airtight vehicles of transportation that we have right now, and that was a submarine. So if you could take this ability to toroidal energy or some form of energy that allows you to levitate and fly, like on the TR-3B and whatnot, what if that's what we're seeing? Because the image that I've seen at the shipyard where they build these huge vehicles, what it looks like is a massive submarine, but it's completely sealed in. So is that what we're seeing? But why are they shiny? I mean, white. Sometimes people can't see them, but they do. What if you're in space and you want to be cloaked, but you don't have some cool Star Wars Force thing going on? You got to deal with just MacGyver instincts. Well, what you would do is your entire vehicle, your spacecraft, would be mirrored. So that way, when you're in space, anything looking at you is getting a reflection back of the infinite of space, which is black, so you are invisible. So they do camouflage like that for airplanes, where on the bottom they're blue and on the top they're camo. So that's something I've theorized for a while, is that somehow the Philadelphia experiment was incorporated with these cigar crafts. Yet, even though I theorize it, I still know that in the past, in history, you see these in paintings and in history books. So are those our cigar secret space force, craft that are going back in time? Did we discover time travel? I don't know. It could get really, really deep. But this is a really awesome video, and the fact that it happened over Utah gets me to lean towards the theory that what we're seeing is either the incoming or the departure of a cigar craft from one of the secret locations, which is in Utah. That is my theory. I'm sticking with it until I change my mind. Moving on, let's close that one out. I wanted to look at, where is it? Is it this one? Yes, because we're dealing with space and Space Force and whatnot. We're going to go here. International Space Station imagery, ISS 009E22157 from 11th of September 2004. They're looking at the hurricane. But we see this image. So let's hear what the boys think.
Let's get to this. We're going to go aboard the ISS space station, and apparently ET database found this, and we're going to be sharing the original link from Spaceflight NASA. It's the government gallery showcasing what ISS captured, and some people are speculating right now that this is a massive cylindrical extraterrestrial craft visiting the ISS. And it is maybe contributing to the weather below, weather manipulation. You see a large hurricane below this luminescent cylindrical craft. What are we looking at, Brent? I want to get your thoughts here.
Yeah, I like that the ET database. He's at it again. Scott Waring's pulling it off. He's got a great channel. He's just approached 30,000 subscribers. He's got a good eye, especially on the International Space Station when there's strange anomalies. What are we looking at?
Okay, where's my pause button here? All right, let's try this again. I made sure to grab some videos that I know I hadn't seen before, and I'm kind of glad I did, because now I'm seeing. Let me bring the mouse over to the right screen here. What I'm seeing here is pretty well. There we go. It's pretty cool. But first glance, to be honest with you, which of course I'm always honest with you, but what I see right off the bat, it looks like halogen lights, a halogen lamp that you'd see in a garage or hanging in a shop or something, with the two fluorescent bulbs, and it's sideways. That's what it looks like, okay, from here. I think it's just a photo image, though. I don't think that there's it's right there. That is very, very peculiar, but it does. If you look right here, it looks like two halogen lamps in one of those metal shield casings, that covers the top of it. I'm not saying that's what it is, because this is International Space Station imagery, so this is in space. What is it? Or is that liquid in there? We're seeing a bubble, or is that this is very, very, very peculiar. I am perplexed on this one. I don't know what to say, but it's a mile wide, and it just looks like halogen. But I know it's not. It's just that's my first impression. What my eyes are seeing. Let's see if it let's see what it says here. Oh no. Was recorded taken Saturday from the altitude about 230 miles up by astronaut Edward M. Mike Fink, NASA ISS science officer and flight engineer, looking out the window of the International Space Station. At the time, Ivan was in the Western Caribbean Sea and reported to have winds of 160 miles an hour. Now, here's a thought. Kids. Let me ask you this. We know this is a legitimate photo. I mean, from the International Space Station, of course, we know not all photos are legit because they get doctored, but the fact that this was taken by an astronaut and it got out there, and because it is an impressive hurricane, but that it's there, it blows my mind. It's so massive. Could this be something that is interacting with our weather? Could it be space? I don't know.